Okay, everyone, it is time for the finalness of PRKD Tutorial Update 2022's. And it's a good thing that I did it before the end of 2022, or it would be PRKD Tutorial Update 2023, but it would be the beginning of 2023. And then if anything changed during the rest of 2023, that would be bad. But this way, since it's at the end of 2022, nothing's going to change for me between now and the end of 2022. Anyway, I'm going to stop being dumb. So we're going to talk about Tourian today. There are quite a few little changes here and a couple of big changes here. So I don't remember how I approached each room a few years ago. I don't think I've changed anything in here, but I still want to talk about it. So the way I do this room, I run in, I shoot as I pass this thing right here in the background. Shoot, switch to supers, kill that first Metroid, and then I jump as I'm passing the red circle in the floor. And then I press angle down after bonking the ceiling. Okay? And I pause for just a moment upon landing in the acid. And if you time it right, you can aggro the left Metroid, but have it not latch onto you. But if you time it wrong, sometimes it will fly to the right like that, and that's bad. You want it to do this half aggro thing without grabbing you if possible. That right there. And then you want to step forward and then press dash. You don't want to hold dash the whole time. Other way. So step forward, then press dash. You want to jump out of the acid, not a clean ledge grab. Okay? You want to land kind of where the two bars are. Right here. These two bars. See that? And then again, you run forward, you release dash on the next set of two bars. And then you angle up, you crouch, you turn to the right, you fire a spacer shot, and it'll group the three Metroids together. They'll all freeze together like that, and you can kill them with one super or 5 missiles. That's the main strat. That's the good strat. That's what you want. If the Metroid does grab you like that, it's no big deal. Just do a mock ball, lay a bomb on the bar. Lay a bomb, unmorph, run back through the bomb, knock them off. Oh no. Super them, and that's it. Okay? Now, I want to address something here. Probably every other top runner that you watch does something different in this room. They jump, they have missiles selected, and they jump, and they fire a missile to knock this guy down. And what that does is it allows them to collect all of the drops from this first Metroid. There are 2 reasons that I don't do that. The first reason is, and this is a more important reason, I suck at it. I'm just bad at it. The second reason is it's a little slower. So because I'm bad at it and it's slower, I just miss some of the drops. And that kind of sucks. It does. It kind of sucks that I'm just missing some of these drops. I didn't miss any drops that time. But usually you're going to miss a couple drops. So now that I've addressed that, I do recommend doing that if you can be good at it. I'm just bad at it. But the extra drops are really nice. So. Alright, so that's room 1. Mock ball through the door. Alright, room 2. I haven't changed anything. that's the strat. It's kind of hard. You want to roll off the edge, face right, unmorph, down back, and then move left a little bit to aggro that Metroid, bring it down with you. And then you just aim up, freeze them, switch to supers and kill them, and jump, open the door, and boost off the Rinka. That's the strat that I do. Zos does something else where he like bounces or jumps through the door rather than walking through the door. He jumps through the door and does a soft morph, or something like that. And then what he ends up doing is he lays a bomb here, and then he aims up and freezes them. Anyway, it's really hard and I'm really bad at it, so I don't do it. If you miss aggroing the Metroid, just do that. Just shoot twice. I would honestly avoid bonking the Rinka at that point. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, if you get grabbed here, like if you say you fail the down back, you can get grabbed on purpose and then do that sort of a thing, okay? Something that I only recently thought of with this is when you lay a bomb, it'll knock the Metroids off regardless of what direction you're moving, right? So I used to always be like, oh no, I have to lay the bomb and then jump up and fall and do that, right? But you don't have to do it that way. You can have the bomb knock the Metroids off on your way up. Like that. And that's more comfy for me personally since I realized that. So obviously you don't want to get grabbed here if you can avoid it. But if you do get grabbed, there you go. I bet you could do the D-boost. If you do this right. Yeah, see? That's pretty good. That's not bad at all, honestly. It's still a little slower, but it's like 30 frames slower. Yeah, something like that. So that's not bad. Alright. This next room has changed a lot. So the old strat, and this is still the strat that you should do if you're low on supers. So you kill that Metroid. You can use supers, you can use a super like this, or you can use 5 missiles. Personally, I'm not very good at the 5 missile strat, and it's a little slower, and if you bonk, that's pretty bad. That is an option. Anyway, and then you do that, okay? And that's pretty dang good. That is not what you want to happen. That is what you want to happen. Okay, so that's the old strat that I'm pretty sure I went over in detail in the old tutorial. That's the new strat right there. It saves a lot of time. It also burns an extra super. But oh boy, is it satisfying to pull off. Oh boy, is it satisfying to pull off. So the way that this works, you start off the same, and then as you're passing under this red dot, you shoot a spazer shot, okay? Spazer, and then you switch, you tap item select twice. This is a lot like the Hundo strat, if you're familiar with the Hundo strat. You item select twice, switch to supers, and shoot and jump off the edge, right there, okay? And then this is where it changes compared to Hundo. So once you reach the drops, you want to turn around, and after turning around, you want to angle. I do that with the D-pad, but you could probably also do it with angle down, or, yeah, In fact, I might switch to doing it with angle down because that's more comfy. Okay, so you angle after turning around. You angle, and what that does is it completely kills Samus's forward momentum, which she's kind of swinging to the right still even after you turn left until you angle. That'll kill her momentum, so that you can fall in the acid instead of bonking this platform. And then, and this was the hard part for me. You're gonna be in the acid, and you want to run forward with angle up, and you want to shoot as you're passing under these 3 lines right here in the platform. Okay? That angle up shot, as long as you have enough run speed, will connect with the Metroid. Okay? So after you do the angle up shot with Spazer, you want to item select twice again. And then you jump and shoot the Metroid as you're jumping past it. Now for me, this strat was really hard to train my fingers. I'm shooting too early now. It was really hard to train my fingers to do it the right way. This end part was really difficult for me because, so I piano these rooms. You can see that in my hand cam. I'll turn off the filter for this because this is important. Why is it so washed out? Why is it so washed out? Oh, I know why it's washed out. It's because the camera settings are, the brightness is cranked way up. That's why. Because it looks better with the filter that way, but it looks like crap without the filter. So I'm sorry. But so I piano this room. When I get to this part, all right, normally what I would want to do if I were jumping and shooting is I would press shoot, which is Y, with my index finger, and then I would slide to jump. But the thing is, we need to go in the opposite direction. We need to go from jump to shoot, not from shoot to jump. Does that make sense? And we need to hold jump too. So you could, like, I could, I guess, do this weird, like, straight finger and knuckle thing. But that's just, it was really hard. So what I did was I trained my brain to, after item select, I bring my middle finger down from X to B, and I use that to press jump, and then I shoot with my index. So it's see, I messed it up there. It's a lot of inputs really fast, which is part of the reason that I like this strat so much, because it really is a lot like a hundo strat. In the sense that, dude, I'm shooting way too early there. In the sense that there's just really high inputs per second. Actions per minute, I think is the official term there. So, whoa. All right, and then this room. This room has changed a little bit too. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Okay. So this room. So you run, you turn left, you shoot that Rinka to freeze it. Because if you don't, it's gonna float down and get in your way at the bottom. You run, you morph on the left wall. Okay, freeze the Rinka, morph on the left wall, roll to the right wall, bounce, unmorph, turn right, freeze them, shoot them with supers. Or missiles. Shoot them with a super or 5 missiles. Okay? Then you want to run, and again, this is piggybacking off of the Hundo strat that Zost came up with. You want to run to the right wall. You want to turn around. You want to do an angle down shot to open the door, and then you just want to run through the door. This is a little slower in this room than some other strats, but it allows us to do a deboost in the next room, which actually saves time overall. And that's what that deboost looks like. So now we're going to talk about that deboost. It's kind of hard to... I'm going to save state here. We can't save state in the door, because if we do, it's going to mess up the hopper. So we have to save state before the door. But basically, I run through the door. I hold angle up and down after activating the door. Okay? And then I turn and jump immediately when landing. All right? Turn and jump immediately when landing. And the reason we're holding angle up for this, I can show this. If you turn and press jump during the turn animation while holding angle up, Samus will do a straight jump after finishing the turn animation. Okay? Yo, Chewy, thanks for the 5 gift subs, dude. The only time that this happens, this straight jump behavior happens during a turn, is if you're holding angle up. If you're holding angle down, she'll cancel into a spin. See that? She'll immediately break the spin if you release the D-pad. But with an angle up, you can hold left or right, and she'll maintain a straight jump the whole time instead of doing a spin. Okay? And if you're not holding any angle at all, then yeah, she does a spin. Okay? Now the thing about a spin is fine, but there's a couple of things that can happen. You can move her out of the way like that, and also the spinning hitbox is smaller than the straight jump hitbox. So we hold angle up and down, then we turn and jump, and press back immediately after jumping while still holding jump. We press jump and shoot. Okay? That will open the door when we land as well, and then you can just jump and wall jump check the door. Now that I've broken it down like that, I'm not going to be able to do it correctly. But that's the idea. It's like half a second faster to do this than to do other strats. Total. Something like that. All right. New baby skip. Turning the music off because it's loud AF. Okay, so for the old baby skip, we would hang out back here. I don't know if I can even do it anymore. I will try. We do, yeah, like this. We'd have to let the baby fly around us a few times. Other way, like this. Okay. And it was good. It was really consistent, and it's what people have been doing for like 10 years. Okay. However, there is a new baby skip. So notice I'm standing over here instead. There are a few different ways that you can set this up, but the idea is that we want to rotate the baby around us in the other direction. Okay? It's much faster. It's 2 to 3 seconds faster, depending on how many rotations you do. It's also harder. So be aware of that. Be aware that this is a harder version of the baby skip, but it's faster. It's faster in this room, and it's faster in the next room. See that? You see how freaking fast that was? It's good. It's a good strat. I kind of hated it at first, and then I sat down and I grinded the hell out of it, and I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And I spent hours and hours and hours on it, and I did. I figured it out. So I'm going to talk about my setup. There are other setups. The thing about my setup is, and Oats does my setup as well, and I'm trying to convert Zos to do my setup because it's really good, and it makes the fastest version of the skip pretty dang consistent. I did it 12 times in a row earlier. It was great. That's not me trying to flex. I'm just trying to illustrate consistency here. So, first I'll talk about the start of my setup, and then I'll talk about the baby rotation jumping parts, and then I'll talk about shooting the baby, and then I'll talk about jumping through the door. Okay, so we start off, the baby detaches from the hopper and it flies upwards, right? When the top of the baby reaches the lines, the horizontal lines in the silo thing in the background right there, either right when it reaches those or just very shortly before is when you want to jump. And the reason we're jumping is to normalize when we run. You could also just find a visual cue to decide when to run, but I like this jump. You run forward upon landing, okay? And then you do a stutter where the screen was locked, okay? Either where the screen was locked or right after where the screen was locked. What the stutter does is it resets Samus's run speed so that she can get a good speedy jump to jump over the baby and swing it underneath Samus. Okay, see that? We want those wide swings. We want the wide swings. See, so that wasn't very good because it was pretty close to Samus. We want the wider swings where it's not so close to Samus like that. That's really good. Okay. All right. Again, the stutter is right here. There's this vertical beam in the background on either side of this silo thing. Okay. And it's right on the left side of the beam or right past it. Okay. As long as you do the stutter right there, you can run forward and jump pretty much any point between there and when Samus will bonk. I actually tasked this out. And as long as you're timing the jump correctly, you can get a successful start to this baby skip. Now, the start is the most important part. Because if you can't get a good start, then you're not going to be able to finish, obviously. I know that sounds really dumb. Like duh, Zenny. It's obvious, dude. But the start of this baby skip is much, much harder than the start of the previous way of doing this. Okay. All right. So next, we're going to talk about the baby swings. So like I said, the baby is swinging around Samus, right? We want the wide swings. We get the wide swings by... it's based on how fast Samus's V speed is when she jumps, which is based on how much run speed she has when she jumps, and also how fast the baby is coming at you and how close it is to you when you jump. Okay, so again, I like the stutter to set up the wide swing. For this second jump, or the third, okay, one. For the second jump, we want another wide swing. And we don't want to swing back. We don't want to swing Samus back to the right too far. But we also don't, depending on how the first swing went, you may need to do a swing back to the right. The thing is, if you want to do the fastest version of the skip, you want to be further left when you land, okay? I think we got grabbed here. No, we didn't. Okay. So the easiest way to stay further to the left is to do a stationary turnaround. Okay? What I mean by that is like that. So usually when you turn around in a spin jump, you're going to move back the other direction, right? You're going to be like, wee, like that. We want to do a straight fall. After turning, we want to fall straight. But again, you only want to do that if you get a good swing on the baby to start. So that was pretty good. I tried to do a straight fall there, but I messed it up. That's okay. But yeah, the further left you are after the second jump, the better chance you have of being able to do the fastest version of the skip. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is shooting the baby. Does shooting the baby even do anything, Zenny? Why, yes, it does. Would you look at this? It is absolutely doing stuff to the baby by shooting it. After it starts charging Samus, the effect is drastically reduced, but it's still there. Okay? So, Oshino Shinobu is a runner of this game, and they were having a really hard time getting this baby skip to work. And then they started shooting the baby on the rotations. And they were like, hey, Zenny, I started shooting the baby on the rotations, and it made it much easier for me. Do you think that that's a real thing? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And so we asked about it in Discord, and people much smarter than me were like, yes, here's the line in the code that describes what the baby does when Samus shoots it, and it will move more or less depending on how much damage is being done by the shot, but only up to 30 damage, which is weird because like almost everything does more than 30 damage. And they were talking about that, and anyway, they confirmed that it does actually move the baby. So that stuff is going on. And I tried it and it wasn't helping, so I dropped it, right? Well, then the other day, this is a week or two ago, I decided rather than shooting it on both rotations, I would just shoot it on the second one. And as soon as I started doing that, it made we call it the 3-jump skip, much more consistent for me. And I was like, whoa. And I shared it with Oates, and he was like, whoa. And now, before there were a lot of setups where we'd be like, no, we can't do 3-jump with this because it's too risky. Now, even with the risky setups, if we shoot the baby, it'll still work. Like, that is a setup that would totally not have worked before, but it worked because I shot the baby. It adjusts the baby just enough that the way that it's aggressively approaching Samus changes and can allow us to get through the door without getting grabbed. That being said, what you really want is for the baby to bonk on that left wall. I think we got grabbed here. But usually, if the baby bonks on the left wall, that is going to increase the time that it takes to grab Samus by so much that it's almost guaranteed that you'll get through without getting grabbed. Which is kind of funny that I got grabbed by that other one because, that's just how tutorials work. Like, you're like, let me show you this thing and how it works. And then you do it and it does something completely different. And you're like, that's not what was supposed to happen. But, yeah. So that's the 3-jump version. Now, if you want to be a sane person and do a safer strat here, So what you do after doing the second jump and shooting your baby on the way down, you shooting your baby. Wow, Zenny. Clip that out of context, huh? After shooting the baby Metroid on the way down, you want to do an angle down shot and shoot the dust ripper on the floor so it's not in your way, okay? And then you'll hold a shot and do one more jump over the baby. So 2, shoot, 3, release, shoot as you're jumping over the baby one more time, and make sure that you're facing left. And what will happen is a buffered shot will come out and automatically clear the moss there for you. Okay? If you're manually clearing the moss, I almost forgot to mention this. So for the 3 jump, you have to kind of manually time your shot to clear the moss. You need to release, or you need to either release shoot if you're charging a shot, or press shoot where the dust ripper was or just to the left of it on the floor. Because if you do it too early, what's going to happen is you're not going to break all the moss. Like that. Okay? And if you do it too late, what's going to happen is you're going to break some of the moss, but not enough. Like that. All right? So you got to do it where the dust ripper was on the floor, or just to the left of it. That was a good left wall bonk by the baby, by the way. And that's it, honestly. So again, the 4+ jump strat. You just want to rotate the baby one more time, or 2 more times, or whatever, and then jump through. And yeah, that's the new baby skip. I have a dedicated tutorial video for it, but it doesn't talk about shooting the baby Metroid and what that does and how it makes the 3-jump version easier. So I may actually clip this one out and replace the video. Yeah, that is that strat. That is what the next room looks like. I don't really know how to explain that. Shoot down, select supers, jump through the door. That's it, really. Okay. No changes in this room. No changes in this room. No changes to the Zeb skip, which I've explained like a bajillion times. No changes here. That's not right. I can turn the music back on. No, I can't. It's going to get really loud again. There is a little change here, actually. So you want to position Samus in the middle of the small platform. You don't want to be too far right, because if you're too far right, you'll hit the glass like that, which is bad. But you also don't want to be too far left, because we're not taking the time to freeze the top Rinka, because it doesn't reduce any lag to freeze it and kill it, and it just wastes time. That's precious time that we could be firing on Mother Brain, right? But the thing is, it comes back down, and it's gonna bonk Samus, right? So if we are in the middle of the platform, we have enough room to move left and avoid it. If we're on the left of the platform, we can't do that. So maybe I did explain that in the old tutorial and I just forgot. See, I was able to kind of inch left there and avoid it. So since we're running 2010, we have extra missiles here. So the only change to this fight is using those extra missiles. So you want to release your charge shot just as Mother Brain starts changing color from this back corner. And then immediately fire 3 missiles, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 60. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. .46 means catch-up can happen. It's bad timing. Since she stepped forward and then did a catch-up and stepped backwards during the catch-up, that actually results in a better cutscene. That is manipulatable, kind of, but it's not worth manipulating because the time that it takes to manipulate is almost always longer than if you just went ahead with the fight anyway. So. So she sits down much faster if you get a better cutscene. And that's where the time save is. It's about 3 seconds. But we lost all of that time with her bad catch-up pattern. A bad catch-up pattern is if she does a catch-up on shot 59 or 60. Because after Mother Brain does a catch-up beam, a red beam, she has a cooldown of like 4 seconds where she won't do anything at all, including advance to the next phase. And she did the red beam on shot 59 on this fight, so we lost probably 3 seconds to that, but then we gained 3 seconds on the cutscene, so yeah. All right. No changes to this fight. At least I don't think. The only thing I'll say is that I try to focus on jumping back up as early as possible so that I can keep firing as quickly as possible. Because if you land and wait to jump back up, you can't fire her head from the floor, basically. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, just a very minor change to one room, and then a slightly bigger change to another room in the escape. So, actually, I don't know if I talked about the unmorph. We'll talk about this. Okay, so you want to be angling down and holding shoot coming into this room, and then I do 4 pumps, and then I shoot again, and then I turn, morph and unmorph through the door. And that allows us to skip the platform on the way down in the next room. So I don't know if I talked about that in the previous tutorial, but there's that. No changes to that room, really. No changes to this room. All right, a change here. So what most top runners do is they go up the left wall. And you just saw why I don't go up the left wall. So they'll do either 2 big wall jumps, 1, 2, and they'll do like an angle up shot down grab thing, or they'll do 3 smaller wall jumps, like that, 1, 2, 3, and then they'll jump up like that. The thing is, if you mess this up, Oh, crap. No, we're losing so much time now. Holy balls. It's really bad, right? So, and I'm the king of messing up the escape. See, okay, crap, oh no, everything sucks. Okay, so I dropped left side, and I go right side, like this. When I have tested that out, like I've done the room like 30 times. I'll do left side, and then I'll do right side, and then I'll do left side, and then I'll do right side, and then I'll do left side, and I'll do right side. The room times are almost identical, like to the point where I can't even tell that left side is faster. I think it's just based on execution, to be quite honest. So I like right side here, personally. Just make sure that you ledge grab here and get a speedy jump, and then ledge grab here, and then this is very important. You do not want to dilly-dally for that right there, okay? If you hang out for too long, you'll get zapped, and let's see if it happens. There's a possibility you'll get double zapped. No, we didn't get double zapped there. But you can. You can get double zapped. I think that happens if you take too long on the wall jump. Double zapped, okay? And that one right there breaks your moonfall, which is awful. That is just terrible. So, don't dilly-dally for the wall jump right here, and don't dilly-dally for the next jump up. Other than that, no changes to the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not 6, that'd be 5. What are you doing, Zinni? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. I did switch something here, actually. So, when I get to this platform, I do a ledge grab, right? And then I'm just doing normal grip through the room up to this point. As I jump up here, I switch to a claw grip. And the reason for that is so that I can hold dash and comfortably press shoot when getting up here, and then be holding dash the entire time, so that my shot has a Doppler effect on it, and I don't lose any time going through the door, and I don't risk bonking the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if you bonk the door, you're also going to bonk one of these pirates, and that's really bad. So that's why I do that way. So go up the right side, moonfall, 5 wall jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch grips. Messed up, that's okay. Shoot. Shine spark up. No change there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't pump there. I don't know why I pumped there. Don't pump there. It's risky. Shine spark up. All right, last thing that we're gonna talk about here. If you get a clean parlor here, there's almost always going to be steam right here. These two steams are almost always going to hit you. They're almost always going to hit you, okay? The thing is, if you go too fast, you're gonna hit this one over here on the right, and it might even hit you like this, which puts you in a worse situation for the rest of the room, okay? So what I do is I purposely do a big jump to the top of parlor. so that we get bonked by the left steam. And then, you see that D-boost? Wasn't that a wonderful D-boost? Did you see that? Did you freaking see that? That was beautiful. Okay, so that's why I do that way. Come on. Okay, so we purposely get hit by the left steam, and of course it didn't happen that time. Of course it freaking didn't, because tutorials love to make me look stupid. Gosh darn tutorials making me look stupid. Alright. Try this again. Big jump. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Well, whatever. If you don't get hit by steam, do that, basically. You'll see some people go for a mock ball over the mound. I've dropped the mock ball because a lot of the time steam messes it up anyway, and it's not really that much faster. Another thing that you could do is an air ball, like that, but there's no guarantee that steam is going to cooperate with that either. I just had an idea, but tutorials are not the time for ideas, so whatever. So yeah, as far as the D-boost that I did goes, I aim for the left side of this grass right here. So I jump. So we get hit by the left steam. I jump between these two patches of grass. That's where I jump. Okay. And then I hold jump and I turn left and then I push right here. And if we don't get the boost, it's not a big deal. Just shoot the door and run through. Okay. Okay, see, so we didn't get it. No big deal. We had iframes. For this last room, you want to get hit by the first steam coming out of the door. And you want to hit it from the left side. And so what that means, there's a couple things that means. If we have iframes from the D-boost, and you land right here when you get the D-boost, don't just run straight through the door. You wanna do a stutter and then run through the door to reset Samus's iframes so that we can hit that steam like that. Okay. That first steam is going to be there like 80% of the time. If you happen to get hit by the later steam, you can do a one tap to try and avoid bonking yet another steam like that. Okay. But if you bonk the first steam, we're gonna save state here now because it doesn't matter if we get different steam RNG at this point. Oops. Messed that up. Okay. It's okay. We had iframes entering, so we can just run through that way. If you bonk the first steam, though, please let me bonk the first steam. You want to jump on the right side of the last patch of grass. And then you want to release jump as Samus reaches the darker patch of clouds in the sky. We have iframes here, so we want to jump on the left side of the grass. And again, you want to release jump as Samus reaches the darker patch of clouds in the sky. I'll show that more specifically. Okay, so right there. Okay. So break spin with an angle down or an angle up or whatever. And then you can time your down press as you land. And if you miss the echoes, that's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. But you should land roughly close to the middle of the ship if you do it that way. Okay. And that's it. That's everything I can think of as far as new stuff for PRKD tutorial update 2022. And this video was roughly 51 minutes long, so I feel like that's pretty good. Each video was about an hour long, except for the part 4, which was like half an hour. That was pretty good. Like an extra 4.5 hours of content, right? So hopefully it's been helpful for you guys. If not, you don't need to tell me how much I suck and stuff, because I already feel that way a lot of the time. So yeah, that should do it. Good luck running PRKD. Go get those 41s. Maybe even get some 40s, right? Do it. I believe in you, whoever you are. Doesn't matter. I believe in you. You can get that 41. You can get that 40. If you're a 43 runner, you can get that 42. I believe in you. I do. So I'm going to wrap up this video now. Thank you for watching. And I don't know when I'll be uploading something else, because I haven't decided what my next YouTube content is going to be. But yeah. Thanks. Okay, bye.